Good day everyone, this is your Sir Balo, and for this video lecture, I'm going to explain or discuss the MySQL-like operator. No? So the MySQL-like operator is, according here, it's used in a where clause to search for specified pattern in a column. Okay, so ito nang himayo, no? So basically, the like operator use ano talaga to siya, you cannot use this one without the where clause, no? So usually when we use the like operator and we use this to search, no, for a specified pattern, no. So later, no, I'm going to explain deeper ano ba tong pattern na sinasabi dito, and how do we create patterns, and what are some specific examples of patterns. And then yan, used to search for a specified pattern in a column. Okay, not columns but column. So isang column lang siya. Although we can combine, pwede mo tayo mag-create ng, we can use the and or na mga logical operators if you want to have more than one condition. But yeah, we typically use this one for only one column lang, like operator. So now, according here, there are two wildcards often used in conjunction with the like operator. So yeah, we have the following. The percent sign represents 0 or 1 or more multiple characters, and the underscore sign represents one single character. Okay, so yeah, these two, later we'll see, no, in a short while, no, how these two wildcards are used in order to create a certain pattern. And so yeah, this percent sign and the underscore can be used in combination. So in other words, pwedeng kasi there are instances where you'll be using only the percent sign, sometimes the underscore sign, and sometimes it's both. It depends on the pattern that you want to query, want to search. So here's the syntax for the like operator when it's added, or when it is used in conjunction with the where clause. So of course we have the typical select, the columns from table, and then where column n, is like, so in other words, we will only be retrieve or fetch only the records whose column follows the pattern na nilagay mo, na specified mo dito. This one, okay, this one here and this one here can be changed, no, but mano siya general pattern niya, ay general syntax rather. So anyway, we'll have specific examples later. Okay, so yan, as I mentioned a while ago, you can combine any number of conditions using and or operators. So perhaps if you want to have two patterns, so you can use and or perhaps or, no. Anyway, these are the examples that I'm talking about, and I'm going to dig deeper, in explaining each one of these examples. So we have here like operator, how the like operator is used to a certain pattern. So these are the different patterns, that examples, no. By the way, the patterns that were provided here, we are not limited lang to this one. Valid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hindi siya limited to 7 patterns. In fact, you can actually customize. You can have your own pattern actually. Any characters, A, B, C, D, up to Z, or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 digits, no, or even special characters, period, slash, any characters. You can also combine it with along with the percent and the wildcards na, yung dalawang wildcards na na-mention kanina. So anyway, without further ado, let's start with the first one. So where customer name like a percent. So ang ibig sabihin na nito is according let's talk about first this pattern right here. Ito. This one. So according to the description, this pattern, no, which means it any value that starts with letter A. Okay? So bakit any value starts with letter A? Hindi ko pala na-discuss tong yung percent sign, no? So the percent sign represents 0, 1 or more multiple characters. So which means it can match or it can represent pwedeng wala, pwedeng isa or as many characters. And then yung underscore sign, it only represents it needs to have it needs to match one single character. So anyway, since your example is a percent, so which means and since this is the column specified right here is customer name, so it means we will you should be able to find only those customer names, those records whose customer name follows this pattern, where any customer name that starts with letter A. So yun yung ibig sabihin niya, any customer, find any values, or to be specific, any customer name whose values starts with letter A. So bakit, no? I'll show you example right here. Okay, so let's focus on this one. Ito. Okay, the first one. So pag sinabing A percent, so meaning this one will match 0, 1. Baka makalimutan nyo. Percent 0, 0, 1 or multiple characters. Sige, let's start with this one. Okay. So according here, a percent. So which means kailangan yung first character of our value should start with letter A. And the succeeding characters, pwedeng walang character, pwedeng may isang character, or pwedeng maraming characters. Any character will do for this one. So bale, for this example right here, at minimum, so we can find customer names that yung value niya is this one. Actually, pwede nga siya to i-capital, no? I'll just make this one capital. Kasi hindi man to siya case sensitive. Pero we can have small and capital letters. No? Anyway, the customer name is like A. First letter is A, and then pwedeng walang character, pwedeng meron, pwedeng isa, pwedeng multiple. So that's why these are just examples, no? We have A, pwedeng A, B. So A, B, A, no? In this case, when we don't have a character, which is okay lang, no? Kasi a percent can represent, pwedeng walang character yung nire-represent nito, this pattern. But in this case, this time it's the B. The B was represented by the percent, and then same with this one. This was represented by this one. Pwede rin, since any character, no, we're not limited to letters only. Pwedeng we have 0, A0, A1. Just to kala, but these are not actually valid customer names. Wala namang pangalan na may walang customer name na may 0, 1s. This is just to, yung main point ko lang is that this pattern will accept these values. It will match rather. These values will match this pattern. So therefore, if you have these kinds of values, we can retrieve those records na This one also, ace. So this time, this C and E was represented by this percent kasi nga, multiple characters, no? Can represent multiple characters. Same also with Anna, this N and A still under pa rin, represented by the percent. So therefore, these values, these are just examples, no? As long as you can even if you could think of other values, basta as long as it starts with A, pwede yan. It matches our pattern. So yun. Anyway, we will have an example later on when we're going to apply this like operator and its pattern sa SQL. Mamaya I will show you how it ano yung magiging resulta, no? Okay, so next we have this one. So according here, find any values that ends with A. So obviously, bakit ends with A? Because of this one, no? So which means, ibig sabihin nito, we can have 0, 1, or as many characters sa simula, no? And then as long as, bahala na, ilang characters to. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or up to infinity. Depende na lang sa limitation. Basta as many characters as possible, basta yung katapusan na character should be A. An example of this one is this one pa rin. Ito pa rin, no? At minimum, this string in which yung character niya is A lang. So, pwede because, again, it represents 0 characters, no? And for this one, ma. So, pwede, no? Because M is represented by this one, by the percent sign. Also with the Ana, so although in this example, it was able to valid siya, pwede siyang it matches this pattern. It's also matched with this pattern. Kasi the A and N is represented by this one. And then yung A matches this A. Okay? Same also with Mariah, the M-A-R-I, Marie. Matches by the percent and then A. Okay, so, yun. So, next we have percent OR percent. So, which means find any values that have OR in any position. So, which means as long as the values has an OR na character, no, magkasunod-sunod, dapat O, then followed by R. Bahala na kung ilang characters yung nandito at the beginning, no, or at the end. Basta as long as you have the O, R, no, characters in customer name values, so we can retrieve those customers. Okay, so an example of that, at least, no, we have OR. Yeah, same explanation with this one, no. Again, percent can represent 0 characters. So, yeah. So, diba? And then the OR characters, ito. So this one, aura. So this one will match this pattern kasi this O is represented by, can be represented by this percent. Yun. And then pwedeng wala, no? Pwedeng wala. No, kasi in other words, pwedeng may mga characters dito, pwedeng wala dito. On the other hand, pwede rin, like for instance, itong early, wala siyang characters dito, pero meron siyang characters here. So it was matched by the percent sign, LIE, and this one. And then also valor. Yun. The val was also represented by the first na yung percent. And how about what if the or is in the middle, no? So wait lang, like, let me think of something na na may pangalan that this has an or. Oh, how about this one? Borinaga. Oh, wait lang. Tama ba yung spelling? I think this is the spelling of Borinaga. So, pwede. Ito. This time, or is at this second position. Bali, yung B is represented by this one. And then yung I, N, 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 A, G, the remaining characters after the R, ito, represented by this one. So, yun. Okay, so next we have this one right here. Ito. Find any values that have R in the second position. So, paano nangyari, no? Na any value that has second R in the second position. Kasi, we have an underscore, no? So, according to our definition kanina, underscore, so, represents one single character. So, isang character lang ay yung that the underscore matches isa, 1, hindi 0, but 1. So, which means, if your pattern has an underscore, your the value that you want to match should provide a character right here. And anyway, we have an example naman, like for instance, this one, we have Brian, no? So, Brian will match this pattern kasi the B was represented by the underscore. So, again, any character, the underscore can represent any single character. So, kahit may 0 pa nga dito or kahit at dito. Pwedeng ganun, no? But, I don't think there are names na may weird na mga, mostly, letters talaga yan, no? But, anyway, if we're going to apply this one in general, pwede that, no? Any character will, but, after that, we have R naman. We have R na character, which means any character followed by R character. And then the rest can be anything, no? Like for instance, this one percent represents this one, IAN. Okay, multiple characters. Covered din yan yung tatlong character na to. Any character and any length or any number. Yun. Okay? So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng percent. No? Next, we have Chris. So, C is represented by the underscore followed by R. And then, once again, we have multiple characters pero duhara. No? Dalawa lang. No? That's already covered or represented by our percent na wildcard. And then last, we have JR, or Junior, I guess. So, J is represented by this one, and then R represented by this one, and then, since this can represent 0 characters, pwedeng walang character right after the R, so that is why this one is acceptable. Pwede. This will match this pattern, this JR. Okay? So, yun. Or even, if you want to be more specific, pwedeng another example naman, we have MR, Mr. Pwedeng Mr. Balo. Pwede yan. No? Sorry. Okay, so next we have this next pattern. Find any values that start with A and are at least 2 characters in length. So, once again, bakit 2 characters? Kasi this one is obviously, we need to have values. If we're to match this pattern, dapat yung value na yun, it should start with A. and it should have a second character. And yung the remaining characters, pwede nang wala, pwedeng isa or tatlo, or no, kahit anong length, no. So anyway, we have an example right here. Pwedeng, okay. Let's focus on the other. Ito. Baka paano kaya this one. So in this case, we have Ana pa rin, no. So A, and then followed by underscore, which means any character. So in this case, N, no. N is represented by the underscore, and then the NA is represented by the percent. Pwede nga, if you want to be more, so let's say ato i-extend natin to, pwedeng analisa or analisa, no? Let's say the name has two words, no, yung name ng customer name, pwedeng gano'n, no? Analisa. Yan. Then pwede rin to AJ, kasi as mentioned, at least 2 characters in length. So which means the name is 2 characters lang in length, this will do, no? As long as yung first letter is A, and then dapat underscore man, so dapat any character, no? Dapat it will be followed by, it is mandated to have a character after A. So yun. But if ito A, hindi na to pwede. Again, we need to have a value or a character right here so that it can match this pattern, or else this not work, no? Hindi siya acceptable. Okay, so next we have A underscore and then underscore. Take note, these are 2 underscores na magkasunod-sunod, kaya medyo mahaba siya, no? Hindi siya halata, no? So this one, this time starts with A and at least 3 characters in length. So as you can see, bakit 3 characters? Because this we need to have an A character followed by another character and then another character. Kaya at least 3 characters. And then the remaining, bahala na kung ano nang mangyari. So in this case, let's have another example. Actually, itong analisa, pwede rin siya dito. Pwede rin siya yung analisa. And even the Ana, pwede rin. But just to give you some other examples, we have the following, no? Ash. So A, is matched by this one, and then yung dalawang underscore, itong first underscore matches this S character, the second underscore, it represents the H, and then yun. Ito, since optional naman, when we have a percent na wildcard, optional lang na may mga characters pa tayo right after this H. So yun. Then we have Ashley. So this time, A, and then same pa rin, no? First underscore represents the S, and this H is represented by the second underscore, and then the percent represents the LEY. So yan. And then the last one, we have A percent 0. So which means any value that starts and ends with 0. So any customer name that starts with A and 0. This one is this will match the pattern right here, because once again the percent can represent pwedeng walang character siya na nire-represent. So that's why A followed by 0 is pwede. This time have ako. So I don't know, may pangalan man na ako, basta pwede to kasi this K is represented by the percent. Lalo na to, no? They are revalo. The reval is represented by the percent. Yun. Okay, so that's so far these are just examples. We are going to apply the patterns right here to this database, customer na table, no? Now I will move on with to my PHP my admin. Wait lang. Okay. So I will just show you. By the way, these are the values no? These are the actual data or the tables na galing sa W3 schools. So we can, so that you can actually see mismo, no, how, how the like operator will work on with the our existing tables right here sa PHP admin. Anyway, so we have a total of, ilan ba yung ano dito? 91. We have 91 records in total. And only 24 lang yung, kasi ano, if we're going to display all 25 pala. Wait lang. 25 yung display niya. But ang total talaga is 91. Anyway, let us proceed, no? So we can actually sana tayo. Let's go with the SQL. And we're going to create one from scratch, but excuse me. Sensya na, medyo makata yung ano natin. Anyway, where is that? Ano? Wait lang. Okay, so we have the SQL-like samples. Select all customers with the customer name starting with A. So I'll just copy paste this one, and let's see. Okay, so take note, no, select all from customers for customer like A %. So expected that we'll be able to retrieve records na yung customer name starts with. So where is that? Ano, dali lang. Ayun, the go. Ito, let's click this go button and see the magic. So loading pa siya, and there you have it. We have a total of 4 records na were returned by this SQL statement right here. So as you can see, take note of customer name like A %. So therefore, customer name A %. So see, all customer name starts with letter A. Yan. So let's proceed with the next one. I'll just copy this one once again. Okay, so I'll click the go. Okay, take note this time, we're expected to get customer names na yung last letter is A. So, yun. Customer name, Antonio Taqueria. Centro Commercial. I will not pronounce the names kasi masyadong mahirap. Okay. And then we have also right here A. Wait lang. Sorry. And then A. See? Medyo madami-dami din ano. But as you can notice, all records, we have a total of 7 records that we're able to query, no? And each query was able to fulfill, or it matched this condition natin na yung customer name follows the pattern na where yung last letter should be A. Okay, next, proceed with the other one, yung may OR, no, customer name that have OR in any position. Okay. Okay, so once again any customer name basta as long as it has OR na characters in between, whether it's the start or at the last or in the middle. So yun, customer name. Okay, take note, customer name to. So we have the following, Antonio Moreno. So yun, ito. Around the horn. Ay, sorry, ito pala. Ito pala. It's at the horn na word nyo. Yung ano. Ba? Then, imports. To, Hungry Coyote Import Store. So once again, the first, this one is covered by the percent, and then this one is covered by the percent wildcard. So yun. And then what else? If we check, oh, we have north, south, no. Okay, and then this one, yan. So yan. Next we have the ano ba? Customer name that have R in the second position. So basically any customer names basta yung pangalawang character niya is R. Okay, let's just wait for a while. Okay, so medyo natatagalan yung ano natin. Okay, so there you have it, no? Around the world. Kasi A yung first character, and then followed by R, the second character, and then the rest pwede ng kahit ano. No? Same also with this one. Underscore, this is covered by the underscore wildcard, and then the remaining characters right here are represented by the percent. So as you notice, halos ano talaga, lahat ng customer nito, lahat talaga, no? Lahat ng customer names na we receive, meron siyang R at the second character. And then next we have customer names that starts with A and are at least 3 characters in length. Wait lang ha, let me copy link. Okay, so expected na ano, all names that start with letter A and dapat at least 3 characters long yung customer name. Ayan, so we have a total of 4 records that match the like pattern, no? So dun sa customer name. So customer name, yan, okay. So Alfred's, Ana, Antonio, yan. Okay. And what? Ano pa ba? This one. Contact name. So ito, may iba naman. Contact name siya, no? Starts with A and ends with O. Okay. Sorry. Yun. Okay, so take note, this time yung column here, right here, is the contact name na, no, in our where clause, where the contact name has A at the first letter and O at the last letter. And as we notice, contact names, take note kayo, contact names yung ninan natin, ha, yung column. So we have A and then O, and then characters in between, these are covered by our percent wildcard. Then this one also A, O, and then this is covered by our wildcard percent as well. So same also with that last one. So yun. So I hope that you how the wildcards work, no, in conjunction with the like operator. So definitely it's a very powerful operator, no? Especially if you're going to query for mga text, mga string na mga data types like contact name, email address, or ano pa ba yung mga ano that has which yung values niya is ano siya. I don't know, I haven't tried it on numbers yet, but so far in my examples, most majority mostly it's the pattern or the like operator is used for mga ganun na data types, mga varchar, basta mga characters na mga ano, na mga data types. Okay, this one, pwede pala, no? Another example, we could also apply the not. Diba? Bali, this not like is just the reverse of the like. So, if we're going to interpret this skill statement right here, we can select all customers with customer name that does not start with A. So, yun ang ibig sabihin niya dito. Okay. It will just negate this pattern. So, therefore, those records that will match this pattern, hindi niya isasali. Okay, take note. Those customer names that will match this pattern, hindi niya isasali. So, yun. Perhaps you prefer that kind of approach, no? Na not, no? The opposite of like, not like. So, we can do that. Wait lang, ha? Okay. It's taking a while. Perhaps it depends on the PC device that you applied the yung MySQL. Anyway, so we have a total of 87 excuse me, out of the 90 plus na mga records natin. Now, if you can recall, no, we have over 90 plus na records in our customer table. We were able to get or retrieve 87 records to our, if we're going to check, so see, customer name, the first record pa lang, no, it starts with the letter B, no? B, and then we scroll, proceed to type with the C. In customer name, we start with C, tapos D, E, F, ayan. So therefore, yun, no, perhaps you may want to have perhaps applicable din sa inyo to, that if you want to reverse the pattern, no, any pattern, any values that will match this this pattern, or any values that will match this pattern, hindi siya masasali sa mga records na mariretrieve natin. So yun, and I guess that's all for this one. But meron siyang this one also has us karugtong na lesson, Wildcards. It will explain deeper. Actually, same lang naman yung whatever was discussed here, but it has more examples. Okay, so this time, another example na pattern. So, as I mentioned, no, any character, any combination of characters, you can combine with the wildcards. So, in this case, in BL tapos percent, which means any values that starts with the BL. Yan. So we have ito BL, pwede to. Black, pwede rin, no? It matches this pattern. Then we have blue, and then blob. In this pattern right here, we have H, tapos any character isa, no? And then followed by T. So that's why we have the hat, and then the hit. If napatay HUT or hut, like Pizza Hut, that's also pwede with this pattern, no? So yan, once again, wildcards can be used in combination, blah blah blah. Okay, so we have another unique pattern right here, bago to, no? So according here, find any values that starts with letter A character, and are at least 3 characters in length. So actually, alas paras na siya ng explanation sa previous lesson, no? The like operator. But meron siyang additional yung pinagkaiba, ito yung additional pala, sorry. This one. Ito. So which means A yung value, let me call lang ito. I'll just copy this one para hindi kayo malito, no? So an expected example of this one, syempre, we should start with A, according right here. Then any value, basta single character, so perhaps as ano ba pangalan na may nag-start ano, perhaps ano siguro actually pwede yung Arevalo. Let's try this Arevalo, no? Okay, so we're going to break this down. Okay, how does the pattern right here represent the characters in this value right here? So itong first character, obviously A, which will match this one. This underscore will match or will represent the R, and itong percent, perhaps since pwedeng 0, pwedeng 1 or more characters, so I guess pwede siya dito, no? Or even dito. Pwedeng EV, pwedeng EA. Bakit, no? Kasi let's say for example EV ay Eva, no? This one is represented this first percent, pwede siyang with the EA Eva. This one will match or represent the L. So yung L matches this one, and then yung percent with the O. Pwede ganun, no? But if EV, so pwede siyang percent, no? It covers the EV, and then yung A covers is represented by the underscore. So yung LO covered by the underscore. So bali kung ano natin pwedeng ganito yung pagkakaano niya. Okay? Or pwede rin ganito. Wait lang. Wala. Yan. Okay? So, I just yun ko lang siya, hiniwalay ko lang A underscore at lang A, ko lang to. These are separate, na to. Para hindi kayo malito. A, this one, underscore, and then the percent, the EVA, this one, the L, and then this one with the O. Oh, ito pala is balik pa. And then pwedeng another way of interpreting this, pwedeng A R and then percent EV, and then A to represent underscore, and then this LO is represented by the percent. So canon. Okay, and I don't know which is which. Kung ano na siya with the, I don't know how the MySQL works, but basically if we're going to the Revalo, if whether it will match this pattern, so yes na yes. And I guess meron pa mga other examples right here. So this time all customers with a city starting with BER, no, BER. So let's try this one, no. I will not be ano na lang finishing everything. You can just try this on your end, no, para makita nyo in actual. So this time a different pattern where yung city daw should start with BER. So all customers whose city starts with BER, but we